fraudulent representations on our title. Let's go over these bills from the attorneys, okay? Here's the timeline. March 31st, 2016. This is a bill. 3/10/16. Review email about articles of incorporation. Review language regarding easements and follow up to see if there's something that could be done. Okay, this is a bill here. You can see where they charged. Okay, we're going to go through a timeline on how this went down. Now, I just found these documents inside the books and records. Okay, I pulled these out. Okay, May 31st, 2016. Okay, and here's some highlighted. 5/16/2016. Further review of governing documents and analyze possible solution to the problem of expired CC&Rs. So right there, they knew that there was a problem with the CC&Rs. Okay, so we come down here and they're charging for that. 5/17/2016, meeting with Bob and Natalie about issues and possible solutions. Began preparation of documents discussed, including notice and agenda for board meeting amendment to articles of incorporation and ballot notice of association to be recorded. Okay, now this is before we bought our properties. We both bought our properties in
this was a year before.
Yeah,
exactly a year before.
Okay, so, you know, I'm just now getting at all these documents. I got a whole stack to go through, and I'm finding these bills now in here, how they knew about this CC&R issue. And I even found it way back to 2005 with the old officer, Simone Dobbs, where there was a letter from an attorney in there about the expired CC&Rs. So they had been running it the whole time that way. And now it looks like they didn't have the authority to do so. Now, okay, let me keep going through here. So we come down to another bill here. 6/3/2016. Articles, prepare written ballot, prepare agenda for meeting of owners, prepare agenda for meeting of members. Okay, 6/10/2016. Prepare notice of homeowners association, further revision the notice and agenda. Okay, there's a bill. Then down here, Washoe County Recorder, fee to record. So this is where they recorded the levy assessment about if you basically don't pay, they start putting the liens on you.
Which is fraud right there.
Yeah, because they knew that they did not have the CC&Rs. And
they didn't have the authority because the CC&Rs were expired.
Yeah, now I never received any of this stuff. I looked all through my title documents. They never gave us a declaration of reservation. So I was relying on the recordations on my title. There was 2 recordings on there, 2 recordings of that, and I'll show those. And what they were just doing it. Okay, I never knew. So we were just paying it. We thought we had road work and we were paying the $150 a year.
Well, and don't forget now, this whole time you paid some late fees.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people were paying that. I've got the whole files full of that they were doing it. So they knew at this time. Okay, but I'm saying that they knew as far back in the records that I found, 2005, with the former officer, Secretary Treasurer Simone Dobbs.
The statement that we are voluntarily paying goes out the window after reviewing these documents because
this is straight up fraudulent concealment on title.
They specifically say though that they're not allowed to do it, and they're doing it anyway.
Well, I didn't know all this, okay? And we'll talk about that. I mean, we took the former officers to small claims in RSC 2023-000823, and they tried to do this, but they paid the money. They paid the back fees that they didn't pay. They didn't come in there. Their attorneys didn't know. They knew about this.
They came at first saying it expired in 2001, and then realized that was an admission
Yeah.
of their wrongdoing
Yeah.
for 15 years.
And we also subpoenaed Gail Kern because we wanted to ask her about these recordings, and they blew that off, and we never were able to get her in there. Okay, that's they went, and the attorneys knew this, and they did not tell us, and they just paid the money when they knew. And I didn't have these documents at that time. I mean, that's a big deal because the lawsuit would have been different. Because they can, this is fraudulent concealment. This is breach of fiduciary trust.
I don't know if the lawsuit would have been different.
Well,
but the evidence presented would have been different.
Yeah, this is more fraud upon the court, even in your case, at RSC 2019000337, where you did a motion to reopen due to fraud on the court, and they blew that one off. Where the judge Haschef told you no, he doesn't have jurisdiction. This is about title. He didn't want to talk about it, even though they committed fraud when they knew. See, this is breach of fiduciary trust, not only by the former officers of Wilcox Ranch, all of them, and the attorney. Okay, this is a material fact that if we would have known, and if you would have known in your case, it would have you have defective title. Okay, and they refused to stop or correct, but.
And the fact that the DA's office has been presented with this stuff all along the way for 4 years now.
Yeah, we told them about the frauds, and not only that, originally they were turned in for financial frauds.
Embezzlement. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they have to look at it. We got it all. There's no accounting.
Now it's embezzlement of money that they never had the right to collect.
Yeah, there's no
15 years.
There's no accounting for it, and they're using a phony business, WGM Grading and Excavating, which I can't even find what business entity that is. And there looks like there's some kind of a retirement tax evasion thing going on with that, because all the money was written to the wife. And there's no business license that I can see, because all the money, he's got this business license in there, and then there's all the money's being written to him, but most of it's going to his wife. So where's the business at? Okay, there's multiple layers of this thing. Now, here's another one, 8516. Review governing documents for provisions related to the collection of assessment. Inter-office discussion regarding expiration of CCRs and authority for collection policy. So they knew about all this, so they did it. Now they're telling us we can't. I relied on the attorney Gail Kern's recordings on our titles. We looked at that and said, hey, now you're telling us you don't, because this is a fraudulent concealment, not only to us, to the rest of the members. So then it says prepared 8/12/2016, prepare form notice of delinquency of at least 60 days letter for associated use. And I find those all over in there that they were doing to people by certified mail. 8/30/16, review questions regarding draft collection policy review. So they were doing it all.
And I'm not sure how the quieting of titles plays into this.
Well, you have to quiet title. We don't have marketable title now because we have no road maintenance, sir.
When they quieted title on Clifford's property.
Oh, they quieted title on several properties.
How does that
it's a material fact concealment to what's really going on, that they can't collect any money, so that means you have no road maintenance, and we're on the hook for it. Everyone's on their own, and they've been doing this. See, they don't want to talk about it because it has to do with Gail Kern, a local attorney, and they don't want to talk about it. It's a protection racket.
Former president of the Washoe County Bar Association.
Yeah, well, you got employees in there that work for the GID that were during this time was the vice president of the Wilcox Ranch Property Owners Association, and they all knew. You can't tell me they don't all know, and they were enforcing it on you. You ought to see the stuff. trying to, the communications about eminent domaining you, talking with the attorney and the vice president. They even said we don't have the authority to work on the roads and all this stuff. And it's all in there. We have it all.
Yeah,
we have it all.
That was mentioned, that they don't have the authority to work on the roads.
They knew about this. We did not know about this. And then they hand this off to me. And the first thing I did was turn them in for financial frauds. I'm still finding all this stuff out. We have defective title. This is fraudulent concealment, fraudulent representation by attorneys, breach of fiduciary trust. Okay, so now we have in 10/25/2016, and I redacted the names here. Wilcox Ranch, review documents, prepared notice of delinquent assessment and claim of lien homeowners association, cause same to be recorded with the Washoe County recorder and serve on the owner. So that's a fraud right there. That's violation, recording misleading false documents on your title. And then they did another one here, same thing, on 11/14/2016, and charging all this money when they knew. So we have defective, non-marketable title. This is title fraud, and everybody was profiting, and some of the adverse parties to this. So they never went and got this and told everybody at the meetings about this, and they just kept going, So let's go down here. So that's that. And then if you look, you can see the dates right here where they recorded. They did vote this amendment to keep it going. And we know that it's good till 2030. But I think they did this as a ploy to try to cover this up. Okay? And you there?
Yeah.
Okay, they did this in a ploy to cover up that they had been taking all this money, and these people that didn't know when they didn't have the authority. But see, they knew. That's the problem. This is breach of fiduciary trust. So they went and recorded this perpetual existence. Okay, without the CC&Rs, it's meaningless. Okay, and so we were sold defective title, and they knew about it before we bought our properties, and they charged us for this. The officers knew.
Representations,
yeah,
before and after we purchased our property.
It's fraudulent concealment, and then we take them to court, and they never say anything about it. So here's one on 18 that they recorded. Okay, and the original one here on 16/6/22. All during this time when they knew about, they recorded this, and it talks about road assessors are levied pursuant to Article 3 of the Articles of Incorporation. That's the fraud right there. And they did it. And we tried to contact Gail Kern, and she blew us off. We tried to get her in court twice. It keeps blowing us off. Oh, I wasn't served. We served her office, and she wants to play that game. That's unethical. That's dishonest. We serve you. Oh, I wasn't served. She answered it that. That's her answer. I wasn't served. You're an attorney. We served your office. You were served. You're going to play games now. And, you try to play that in the courts. So I wasn't served. And the courts always blow that off. But because she does it, it's okay. She's an attorney. We served her office, one of her agents at the desk.